Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone's ready for the holidays. Ready or not, here it comes. December seems to be like just flying by, but it's so lovely. The weather outside is beautiful. I think it's going to be almost 60 degrees today, which is so lovely. I am going to take as many of these beautiful days as I can get because we all know that winter. And so I want all of you to remind me about all these beautiful days when I'm bitching and moaning about it being 20 degrees. Good morning. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm good. How's your voice?
It's non-existent, so I'm gonna be a little quiet this morning.
That's all right. I'm looking forward to Ricky doing all the talking. So. Oh my God! Speaking of Ricky, hello.
What's up, ladies?
Hey. Hi, Ricky.
How's it
Oh my
going?
God. Let's get this party started.
Let's do
Good
it.
morning. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh my God, that camper. Can you
That's
move
it.
aside so we can see the camper, Ricky? I mean,
This is awesome.
oh, that is wonderful. Let's just start there. This is something you built a long time ago, correct?
Yeah, 2018. This time in 2018. This time of
That's
year.
awesome.
Yeah.
And what age baby can fit in there? And I'm asking for a friend.
It's a twin mattress actually, so a full-grown
That's
adult.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you sleep in there often, is what you're telling us.
Sometimes, yeah, when she's not here.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go there, Tracy. Well, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Let's start from the beginning. Give us an introduction of how you started doing what you do, and
All right. Well, my dad's a carpenter, so I was a carpenter for about 20 years or so, and then doing finished carpentry. I got to take these headphones off. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All I can hear is myself inside. Can I hear you?
Yep,
yeah,
we got
we can hear you.
Okay, that's better. Oh, it's way better. Sorry.
Okay.
So I was a finished carpenter for about 20 years, and then I started doing like a little bit of more like craftier stuff when Coda was born. I built her a name sign. And then I started doing name signs for all my friends' kids, and it just kept evolving, and then businesses. And then, it was primarily signs though. And this is 2015. Yeah, so it kept evolving. And then when I moved back home, I had a ton of connections, and I started working on the Doritos, and then it just kept growing to what it is now.
That's
And
awesome.
where do you work out of mostly, Ricky?
I have a shop that I can't say where it's at because I have neighbors that are complaining a lot. But
I thought you were going to say you had fans who are going to show up and
So your
That's
dad
crazy.
was a carpenter, you said. So when you were younger, not that you're older now, when you were younger, were you into carpentry, or is it just something that evolved later?
No, yeah, definitely not. It was kind of like a necessity. It was after I graduated college. I was like, I needed a job, and I started working with him a little bit during college, and then I was just like, kind of just went right into carpentry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you started with signs, and then I guess you made the camper for your daughter, or how did you get from making signs to this fan worshiping? I mean, I'm a fan worshiper fan. I don't know how to say it. Fangirling, cult following that you have with this amazing creativity you have.
Thank you. I don't know. I used to do like videos with my friends, like sketch comedy in like 2006. And so I kind of had that knack for video already. And it was almost just like the platform kind of drove that, because I already had, I have those abilities. I have the ability to create weird shit, and then the ability to like do video. So it was almost like a natural fit for Instagram or whatever. And that kind of just, took off just based on its own, I guess, merit.
So speaking of Instagram, I know that you've posted of the hurdles you've had with the videos you've tried to create, and the reels and the following. Do you want to touch a little bit, or do you have any tips for the rest of us that are trying to grow our Instagram audience from things you've learned hard
I
way.
can go down this rabbit hole deep.
Well, just give us the good tips of what we can actually do.
I mean, I think the tips really are, I think right now they're, it's all about frequency. You got to be posting as much as possible. I don't even think it matters that much what you're posting necessarily. I think they're doing more like a lottery type algorithm. You know what I mean? So it's like the posts are either going to hit it or they're not. It doesn't really, the merit doesn't matter that much, but obviously the merit matters when it does hit. But I actually had an issue where I had like a, on the back of all my signs, I used to do these B-sides. I'd take old paper products like 80s teen mags, and on a girl's name sign, I would do all like a collage on the back. So I was doing that with all my projects, even some of the big builds, like at Lizzie's, like I would hide, old paper things. So on hers, on that top shelf on the Space Age Vanity, I hid all these 70s porn mags. And in my pics, I showed that, you know what I mean? That and then I got two guideline strikes for that.
Yeah.
And then after that, my engagement totally sunk, like for significant amount of time, to the point where if I searched my name, I would have to type in the whole name before it came up,
You were probably like shadow banned for a little while.
Yeah, there was definitely some type of like soft shadow ban, because you can still see my stuff, but I wouldn't appear on any explore pages or anything. And that's kind of like, it's not this as restrictive as it used to be, but my posts are like, my contemporaries in like this, in the woodworking scroll saw sign community, they all shot way past me at some point, even though, they'll admit themselves that my videos might be better or whatever. It's just
right.
There's something going on where I'm a little, restricted in a way.
I would say, from my perspective, Ricky, your Instagram success is mostly from your authenticity, because you are unapologetically you in your videos, and your artwork speaks for itself, obviously, but like people feel like they're getting to know you. And to me, that's how people are successful on Instagram, is like showing the real side of themselves, showing the authenticity, and just like really having that connection with people where they feel like they know you. And you do that very well.
Thank you. It's tough though, because after like, I put a lot into that, like just to do stories every day where I'm talking and editing and sound effects, like that takes a lot. Some of those stories take an hour for what,
yep.
Something that just disappears. So when you're climbing a ladder, it's all fun. But then once you see that, like, you're not getting the same like feedback, as far as like, I have like a decent following who's like amazing. Like the woodworking community is great, but it's not going outside of that community. So it gets kind of like discouraging in a way, where you just get demotivated. Like I don't do talking stories as much anymore, just because it's like, it feels like a waste of time,
Well, hopefully today will help you reach a new audience. You've got three women here in 3 different aspects of Instagram. So hopefully we'll bring some new eyeballs to you today.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and also, Ricky, I mean, I learned about you through White Flower. So obviously, I saw you putting up the mural. You let my daughter put one of the flowers up, which we're super appreciative of. But I think also working with a lot of the local community. I mean, I'm a huge fan of NOFO Doko, so obviously I'm always in there. You can tell based off I stand up how many times I've been there recently. I mean, your artwork is everywhere, and I think pairing with local community is probably a great reach also for growing that outside of the woodworking community, because someone who doesn't know anything about woodworking and knows a lot about donuts knows you because of that
Agreed.
connection.
I know you from NOFO Doko primarily, and then made the connection with White Flower Farmhouse as well. So I do think that there's a very strong local following and support of yours that's been growing over the last year or two, for sure.
Absolutely.
And then seeing the transformation at Times Vintage is just insane.
Yes.
I mean, obviously,
yes.
your and Lizzie's love story is amazing to watch and unfold, and we're huge fans of hers. But also being able to see the creative vision between the two of you flourish, blossom, if I will, at the shop is just so cool. I mean, can you talk through like that creative process and like just growing both of like what she sees, what you think, and then also the reality of what actually can be produced?
What do you mean by the reality? What could be produced?
I mean, I think, the sky's the limit. I mean, even seeing what you did in LA and things like that, I think it's, taking a client's vision and then actually producing it in wood. I mean, I'm sure there's a process.
Yeah, there's definitely limitation as far as like time and labor goes, for sure. And then ability, but
yeah, definitely.
So you want to, Lizzie told you our whole love story and everything, right? I don't need to redo that, right?
No, review it again.
No,
in case,
she didn't.
She didn't. Review it for us.
I'm here for it.
An hour-long show. We have so much. No. So tell us both. Tell us how you come up with the creative. Like, how did you end up with the dressing rooms the way they are? Like, we love them the way they are. How did you start? Did you have the idea? Did Lizzie have the idea? Did she just have a vision? How does a vision get translated into what we see?
All right. So
a lot of questions about your love story.
Yeah. We could just read the comments for an hour. We could just stop talking and read the comments. Like,
yes, and a lot of people are asking
when
you to
proposing?
dance. Yeah,
we want to see dance
There's something
moves.
about dance moves, so we need to talk about that too.
Oh, Jesus.
Lizzie's blushing.
All right, so I did a record sign for her for outside, and then when I was in there, at that time in my creative process, I was just doing signs, but I wanted to do more. Like, there's other things I wanted to do, and because of my construction background, I knew I could do like installations, not just signs, And in her place at the time, her dressing rooms looked like, they look like outhouses. And she had like all this cool stuff organized well, but then the dressing rooms were just so blah. So I was like, let's do something with these. And she was at the time, it was going to be expensive. You know what I mean? So it's like she was reluctant, but then fast forward a couple months, maybe like 8 months or so, I did that big greenhouse at Lucharitos, Santa Mauritius.
Yeah. Okay.
And she saw that, and she was going through this time where she was going through something. So she was deciding whether or not she wanted to possibly leave or stay here and like put everything into the shop. And she commented on that greenhouse, and I said, let's do the dressing rooms, because I would bug her periodically about them. And then she was like, yeah, let's do it. So the creative process was really just, I know her style, right? I know she wants to be 70s, 60s, 70s. Like, I know that. And my style is usually a little more 80s, but I love doing retro. I love doing retro so much. I like to kind of get like totally wrapped up in whatever, like when I did Miracle Eye, I got totally wrapped up in the 60s and space age, like so deeply that, it almost made it easy to create things that looked authentically 60s. Listening to the music, watching TV shows, movies, like going all the way in. So with Lizzie's, we were just, I had this idea before I even went in there that I wanted to do a 3-dimensional wallpaper, like make a wood 3-dimensional wallpaper. And I thought like retro, like hippie flowers would be the best, like, thing to do. I can cut a bunch of flowers and organize them so that from the distance it looks like wallpaper. When you get close, it's all 3-dimensional. So that was like the seed of the whole dressing rooms. And then we knew we had 2 of them, so we were throwing around ideas. And I was like, oh, maybe we can do like a butterfly scene, like. And she got all excited because she calls her mom Mariposa. So so that was set, that way. And then it was just a process of like playing around in the shop, trying to figure out, trying to make these different designs. Like I made tons of different butterfly designs before I settled on the 5 that I chose. And then it just, the dressing room was just proceeded from there as we kept, coming up with different ideas, like the flower doors and,
So it sounds like all this Pandora's box is in your head. And as soon as you're like, okay, we're doing this, it just pops open and creative things just start flowing.
Yeah, it's a lot of play. And then it's also a lot of just like going down deep holes in Pinterest so I can be so like wrapped up into like the different ideas, and then I kind of work off of some of those ideas, or something will just pop like, oh, I can do that, you know.
It's almost like preparing for a movie role. Like you really get into the character that you're being asked to create with each of these projects.
Yeah, and it's
He's
fun.
a method artist.
Yes, method artist.
And it's actually fun. Like right now, I started listening to the playlist that I made last year at this time for the 80s project, South Quarter. And there's a whole playlist that's like just custom built for like almost like blueprints for that project. So I've been listening to that, and it's cool. It like takes me back to that whole time period. You know, it's not just the project. It's cool.
So
awesome.
You've thrown out a lot of names for people who are just tuning in and haven't been following along. Tell us where people can go to see some of your pieces and your installations, because you've thrown out quite a few names here.
Yeah, okay, like you mentioned, White Flower in Southold. That's a mural on the side of a building. There's Times Vintage.
Greenport.
Yeah, Greenport. There's NOFO, Doco in Bayshore, and they just moved my wall donuts into the new Mattatuck location.
In Loveland.
There is, I got a piece in Kate's 1 Hour Cheese Shop.
Okay.
Okay.
There.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that one. I gotta go check it out.
And
Yeah,
you
it's
said Santa Mariches, Lucharitos, is that still up?
Yeah, all Lucharitos locations, minus the new ones, whatever they are.
Okay.
So I think 4 locations, maybe, or 3 locations I have stuff in. 4 locations.
Which actually that
upcoming.
Sorry, go ahead.
What projects do you have upcoming?
I'm doing one in Shelter Island, actually, at the Old Eagle Deli.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a centric bagel.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and we're doing like, you know, it's going to be a small space in the front and the outside, but we're going to do a big, you know, just a wow
statement
kind of
piece
design. Yeah. But I'm doing more like interior design. Like I've been leaning to do more interior design than just like it's the installation.
What's your dream project? Like what would you love to work on that you haven't been asked to do yet?
So I'd absolutely love just to have my own space, just to almost go like full crazy roadside attraction guy and just keep building whatever I felt like building. And so like to monetize that, like maybe like a hotel, a themed hotel where each room has a different theme. Like that'd be great. That would be like,
oh my God, Ricky Hotel! I can't wait for Ricky Hotel.
Yeah, I would absolutely love. But you know, right now I'm working for people, you know. So I don't know. I'm definitely interested in making another bed again.
We should hook you up with like you know, like 29 rooms type of a art installation where every room is like a different kind of thing.
I mean, I love to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which I actually produced the San Francisco one, so we'll see what we can do there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God, 29 rooms on the North Fork. That sounds Rickyville.
Yeah.
I love that. Lizzie has the name picked out. Rickyville, USA.
Love it. Let's figure this out. We should do something. This would be really cool.
There's so many good ideas.
Are they permanent rooms?
No, 29 rooms is like
it's like an Instagram photo.
A 2-week, yes, absolutely, a 2-week museum experience. But, you know, generally they have different artists in each room. It was with Refinery 29, but I think we could make up our own NOFO version of it. And you get, you know, we have each different business that would sponsor a different room that you do a different creative thing for, or something like that.
Oh, I love this.
Killer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking even a vineyard tasting room. I can't wait to see a Ricky TeeVee. I guess the Rickyville,
USA.
Rickyville, USA design tasting room theme. I mean, even if it's seasonal, although I feel bad, it's so much work that goes into it. So I'd love to see it permanent. But knowing you'll probably come in and change it and be able to make it into a whole other experience, you know?
Yeah, I want to do the bedroom, actually. Let me do the bedroom.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, we'll let you work on yours and Lizzie's. Can I just jump back to White Flower Farmhouse for a minute, though? Because what I love about that install is, first of all, it's also personal to Lori, but what I love is it's on the outside of the shop. So it's also for the community, if you will, in a way, because the amount of people that every time I drive by there, I mean, every time I walk past that, I have to stop and take a picture, even though I've taken so many. There's just something about it that just draws you. Can you talk a little bit about how that came about and the hours and hours of sanding, because we all watched that when you were making the flowers?
Yeah, hold on, get this person's out of the way. Okay. Yeah, so after I did Lizzie's dressing rooms, Lori reached out to her because they knew each other, but you know, I wasn't that popular yet. She didn't know me. And she asked about me and stuff, and she wanted to do, you know, basically wanted to do, I think it was interior stuff at first, if I remember. And then when we were talking, she showed me the space outside. I was like, oh yeah, let's do a big, she wanted me to do the signage on the front. But then I saw the side and I was like, oh, we need to do something big here. And she was like, yeah. And then the whole like garden idea is hers. She wanted to do flowers with like, you know, an awning and everything. So yeah, then she gave me all her old wood that she had salvaged. I had a bunch of driftwood that I pulled off the beach. And then I sat for probably weeks. And this was all during like when COVID first hit and everything was shut down. I sat in the shop like, you know, 16 hours a day messing with different flower types to try to make like, there's 5 different unique flowers on that wall. So I just kept messing around until I eventually had the all of them, and then just, I mean, it was a ton of work. I don't remember the hours on that one, but it was a lot, probably like 300 or something or more.
I believe it. I mean, looking at it even now, it's still so amazing. And then obviously the text, I mean, it's just so well done. So, I mean, it's a staple in everyone's, I mean, I could imagine how many Christmas cards have that as their background.
Yes.
That's great.
Good
It's crazy
point.
on Facebook. I see it everywhere.
Like,
everyone's profile
get yourself
picture.
tagged in all of them. Exactly.
So on behalf of everybody that gets to experience your thing, can I just say thank you twofold? 1, for creating them, and 2, for sharing the journey of how you created. Because for someone like me that doesn't have the creativity that you have, I appreciate the end product, but I so much appreciate the time that you take to share the process of creating it. Because I think your talent is not just in the final creation, but you're also an entertainer. Like you said, between the, you know, the comedy routines you have, I mean, I crack up at all your jokes and the creativity. So on behalf of everybody that can't directly say thank you to you, thank you for continuing to share, and please show up. And I know it's a lot of work and time, but all your stalkers will miss it if you don't do it. So please keep posting all your builds and your creativity and sharing the backstories.
Ricky,
White Flower was the first project that I think started filming like build videos for. I figured, let me get footage of every single element and I'll do build videos for each flower, which are they're all posted deep on my profile. It's like each flower has a different process video. And that was like the first project I went full in on. Like, I want to do really big videos for the build. So yeah, that's, you know, White Flower is like my first, like, you know, grand, like, you know, reveal kind of.
No, Lori's a great, proper upper of artists. So I think it's just a testament to local community out here and everybody supporting each other. So it's awesome.
Thank you.
Ricky, sorry. When we ran into you the other day, last weekend or the weekend before, I learned of something that you had been doing for a long time. And tell everybody about the cassette tapes that you were doing on the beach, because that's so cool.
I have mine handy. I haven't left it at the beach yet.
Mine's going in the baby's room. Mine's going in the baby's room.
Well, Ricky's going to talk about it, but the idea is to release this someplace, and I'm having a tough time releasing it. I promise I will, but I'll let you talk about what it is, and then I will find a way to release it.
All right, yeah. So first, there's like a video I did recently where I retold the whole Driftwood story because I never told it. I never got good footage for it. So recently on my profile, there's a whole story, like a narrated thing. So this is when I quit my job and first started doing this. I was just you know, had endless time in the shop, just trying to create things, trying to figure out a direction to go in. And then I was doing these wood cassette tapes for a kid's name sign, all out of walnut. And then I had a bunch of extra. So I was like, ooh, it'd be cool if I like aged these, you know, to see what they, you know, left them outside. And I started doing that, but it didn't like, they weren't aging fast enough for my, you know, for me to like see the results. So one day I was like, oh, why don't I pull driftwood off the beach and make them so they look really aged? And it'll be like this weird, like contrasting, like almost like a fossil, you know? So I started doing that, and I was like, oh, I could sell these as like, it was Christmas at the time, in 2017. I was like, oh, I could sell these as like Christmas ornaments and stuff. And I was doing that for a while, but I'm not like a salesman. I don't like chasing people. I don't like constantly posting like, hey, I got this stuff. You know, like that's just like not me. So I had a ton left over. I just kind of like almost gave up on it. And Revel, the store Revel in Greenport was selling them for like a long time. And she probably sold about 200 over like a period of time for me.
How many did you make?
I made like 400 or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was a lot of rejects too, because as you're making them, this driftwood's falling apart. So with the rejects, I was just like, I'll just throw these back on the beach, you know, as like a, you know, just leave them back out there and somebody finds them. And so I started doing that, and then I decided just to take all my leftovers, and I would periodically, me and Coda were on the beach, we would just leave them places and throw them back in the water. Sometimes I throw them in the causeway and see them just like get, you know, sent away. And it was just like, rather than spend all this time to try to sell them and make like whatever $15 a tape or something, I figured it'd be so much cooler to just like leave them on the beach and have someone find them with no writing on it and have no clue, like, you know, where it came from. It'll make someone's day, or at least create like this mystery in somebody's life that they have to like figure out. And it's a cool like North Fork thing. It always comes back to me because it's North Fork, so people will post it. Oh my God, I found this tape, and then someone will go, oh, I know who did that, you know. But for a while there, nobody knew anything. It was just I mean, I'm sure people still who are vacationing find one and they don't know anything. You know, so it's cool. It's just something like a souvenir or something they put on their shelf and always wonder like, oh, where did this come from? You know, it's like that was way more rewarding than you know, chasing people and selling it for $15.
Well, I'm bringing mine.
I was wondering why. I was going to ask you if you wanted to sign it, but now it makes so much sense where you just want to anonymously let joy be found in the world. I love that. I love that. That does help me release it a little. I'm having a little tough time letting it go. But I mean,
I gave you guys 2 each, right?
Yes. Yes.
One was to keep and one was to like release.
Yes, this one is true. But now I just realized what I'm going to do by it. I'm going to hang it on my Christmas tree. It's an ornament. I just realized what it is.
I love it.
Also, at that time, I made labels because I was just trying to sell them. So I made labels for each North Fork town, and each label is a unique 80s designed, like, and I'm not a graphic designer. I did it all on Photoshop, like a total gorilla. Like, if someone who does that would probably watch me and be like, dude, like, it probably took me like an extra 8 hours per.
Well, we love your creativity.
What was that?
We love your creativity.
Thank you.
It's never ending.
Absolutely. And the amount of work you put into it, which is why I think, as Tracy was saying earlier, you know, you share it so authentically, what the amount of time and effort it takes. And when you were talking about rejects, I mean, if you have any Ricky TV rejects, I think any 3 of us would be happy to take whatever it goes in your reject file. Right, Lauren? I mean, I can't even imagine a Ricky TV reject. I mean, hello. All right, we do need to try to get to the rapid fire because we really do want to hear your perspective. So, Tracy, do you want to run with it?
Sure. All right. So every week we have the same 5 questions, different perspective. So I'll start it off with we've added right now, because we know it's so hard to say what your favorite of anything is because there's so many wonderful things. So what is your favorite restaurant on the North Fork right now?
Oh, I should have looked at these questions first. I don't. Oh, no fucking clue. This is gonna take longer than that. Asking me the other question.
Okay, where did you? Right. Where was the last time you ate out? That'll be your favorite. Let's go with that.
The last time I ate out was Brick Oven.
Okay.
Pizza.
Okay.
There we go. But that one's a staple. That one's like, I've been going there since high school. So.
See?
That's
So
my
it is a kind of a favorite because you've been there. Okay.
Okay, I know you post a lot of pictures with you and your daughter on the beaches. First of all, Part Stalker does want to know which beach those are because they're very pretty and they have things jutting out, which I haven't found a beach that has dock jutting out, so DM me. But I want to know if you were going to go catch a sunrise or a sunset, would you have any recommendations and where would you go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like Rocky Point's the coolest beach out here by far, I think.
Okay.
And then there's Bailey Beach or whatever in Mattatuck. That's really cool for sunsets because you can actually see the sunset over there. But I like the Causeway. I just really like the vibe at the Causeway. I like that how you can use that as like a walkway and stuff. And there's cool sunsets there, water on both sides. That one's definitely it.
Yeah.
Favorite farm stand?
Yikes. I don't go to farm stands much, but
Okay.
I used to hit on the chicks at Latham's farm stand in high school. The one that was across from IGA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. I used to have a crush on, I think, every girl that worked there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right. Favorite winery or brewery?
I don't drink, but I'll go with Uber Geek because it's in the family. I did some work there in Riverhead.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
Very cool.
Awesome. We got to go check that out. You left that off the list of places where you did work.
Yeah, I just did a menu there. We were going to do more, but then it was just kind of like timing and money in it. And so that's on the back burner for now.
I don't know. Do we have any other ones, guys?
I think so. Just to wrap it up, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been such a pleasure getting to know you better, and hopefully we got you some new stalkers today. We're looking forward to seeing what else you put out there and following along with your journey. If you could sum up in 1 or 2 sentences why you love being a part of the North Fork community, tell us what that is.
I don't know about 1 or 2 sentences, but I mean, I grew up here. I went to Greenport from K to 12, so it's like really home, like I know every single nook and cranny of Greenport. I've been in all the roofs downtown, been in all the woods, so I mean, it's home, and the community of people who I went to kindergarten with, like these people just randomly wandering around Greenport, like they're brothers and sisters. They feel like brothers and sisters because I know them since we were 5, so it's more of like the actual small town community, which when I was 20 was annoying, but now like as a father and like an older person, it's like it's home. It's home and the people are home,
Yeah. We have a lot of new faces on here today, thanks to you, Ricky. So thank you for bringing them. And just so everyone knows, we go live every Friday at 10 a.m. We interview somebody new from the North Fork, new to us or new to you. And it's an artist, a restaurateur, a winemaker, a blogger, whatever. If you're interested in being on the show, DM one of us. Please tune in. We just love giving a platform to other people to lift them up, give them a bigger audience, share what we love about the North Fork, and just spread the love through our community. So we hope we'll see you guys here again.
Thank you so much, Ricky. I feel like you are part therapist in your videos, at least part therapist for me, because it definitely makes me smile when I watch your videos. Part entertainer, part woodworker, part boyfriend. I know you propose, so I'm not going to put that pressure on you, but we so enjoyed having you on. Please come back when you're done with your Shelter Island project so we can talk more and see some pictures. And in the meantime, stay tuned. If you're not following Ricky TV, run now and follow. And congrats on making 10,000 followers. That's definitely an accomplishment. Hoping you get to 100,000 soon. Thank you again, and we will see you all next Friday. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
All right, ladies, take it easy.
Bye.